Yeah, look right there. That's a big old button. It's about the size of a large cent, but we're going to have a quick little adventure today. We're going to be doing some metal detecting and digging in an old house foundation. I was up here visiting my one of my old friends, and we're standing here talking in his driveway. That's an old house he lives in right there. That was built in like I think the early 1800s, he says. But anyway, we were standing here talking, and I just happened to look down on his driveway right here, and there was some pottery and oyster shells and stuff. And I probably picked it up. Here's some little bit of ceramics here, and that's where I kicked something out of the ground. Here's some redware. This is old stuff. This is like 1800s, early 1800s, 1700s. That's a little piece of oyster shell. People in this area, we're in the Shenandoah Valley, used to eat a lot of oysters up through the Civil War era, from 1700s to the 1800s. That's a piece of bone. So I saw all that stuff right there. I got to thinking maybe I should do a little metal detecting today, because look over in here. There's another foundation, okay? This is an older foundation. This house was built in the 1700s, and it burned probably in the early 1800s. And then they built a new house in the early 1800s, which is where he lives now. We were metal detecting up in here a couple of years ago, and it was a lot more brushy. It was really hard to get through here. But I dug some pits and stuff, and I was finding coins and Civil War belt buckles and stuff in here. And I noticed that it's a little bit more open today, so I thought we might look around a little bit. This is the foundation to a house. This was a big old house. It was built by an admiral, of all things, back in the 1700s. Anyway, I want to show you something. This is all part of the foundation in here. And over, that's a little sifter box right there. I'm going to tell you a story about that in a minute. But over here is where I found a lot of stuff in this part of the house, and we dug around in here years ago. I brought some tools in here because I was noticing there's another groundhog hole, and I did a video here, and basically the groundhog had dug a bunch of stuff up. I guess this dirt here, right? You know, this is where they dug a hole in there. And I found a bunch of artifacts in the dirt that he dug from down deep. I popped in here and was just kind of looking around. I was really happy to see that we can get around in here a lot easier now. These trees have gotten bigger, so it's a lot easier to get around. And I was looking in the groundhog dirt, and you see oyster shells down there, pieces of ceramics here. That's old stuff right there. There's an old bottle, top to a bottle. Nice little old medicine bottle. But anyway, I was noticing over here, and I don't know if you see it yet, but if you do, let me know. There is a piece of silverware right here. That's an old fork or an old spoon. And I did not hear that with a metal detector when we were in here a couple of years ago, so maybe the groundhog dug it up since then. But let's take a look at it. What do you say? Well, you know what? I'm going to get a picture of that before I pull it out of there. And but we'll take a look at it together some more. That's some ceramic. That's an old bottle top right here. I'd love to find some old unbroken bottles like this, that big old green bottle glass. And if you look through there, you can see it's full of bubbles and stuff. Don't have high hopes for finding bottles, but we could find some good buttons and coins today. So let me go ahead and grab a quick picture of that, and then we'll look at that utensil, and then we're going to figure out where we're going to dig a hole today. All right, so I got a quick picture of it, so let's look at it together. You ready? I love finding this old stuff like this. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a big old brass spoon right there. So that's going to be an oldie. That's going to date to easily date into the early 1800s, 1700s maybe. Complete. The fact that something like this is still in here, and the groundhog probably dug it up, makes me very hopeful we'll find some more cool stuff. They probably got it up out of here, so we may dig in here, check it, see what we can find. Or maybe down here. If you look here, it's a lot darker, so that means there's more organic matter right in this area. That might even be a better area to look. I don't know. Look at this. That is neat. That's old window glass right there. Very thin window glass. I saw something over here. Oh, it's a nail. Big old square nail. I think that's a rose head nail. Comes up on the, has like a slanted area that comes up, or a slanted area comes up. Usually it's 3, called rose head nail, and those are old hand forged nails. So they are like 1850s. Old saucer. I bet if we just look, we'll see buttons. We're going to go ahead and get the metal detector out and look around. I'll cut some of this stuff back too. Over here, You see there's more, another groundhog hole in there. We'll look around in here a little bit. Yeah, I want to tell you about this thing. This is kind of interesting. There's a couple sifters. That's where someone was in here digging, sifting here. And this is where they made a tripod to do that. Interesting thing is, they did that after I made a video in here. And I thought it was the owner had come in here and done it. And like a couple of years later, I was out here talking to him again. I said, hey, you find anything back in there? He's like, what do you mean? So, well, there's some sifters. He said, what do you mean there's sifters in there? So he didn't even know that there's someone had come here and was sifting on this old foundation next to his house after I did the video. They saw my video and came out here and did that. Now, there were a couple guys that had permission to metal detect out in the field, so it was probably one of them. But I just thought it was kind of curious that he didn't even know they were ever here, and it just goes to show you that's why I kind of keep some of my places a little bit secret, a little quiet, don't tell everyone, because if you find something, other people will come there almost immediately. That's what happened here. I don't know if they found anything or not, but I wanted to show you this area too. This has been dug out, and there was a lot of nails in here. These are probably flooring nails. See how they're narrow there and the shape there on the top. So this was probably old floorboards that rotted away or got burned up right in here, this part of the house. But there's lots of ceramics in here too, so I'm hoping we'll find some stuff when we start digging around. Pretty neat, huh? All right, I'm going to clear this out a little bit so we can get around, and we're going to metal detect it, and then we'll dig a couple test pits, try to find like a handful of gold coins, or at least maybe one Civil War button would be good. I'm just going to try to get rid of some of these sticks and things, just throw them over there in a pile so we can swing the metal detector and see the ground better in here. There you go. The ground is really dark right in this area. So it might be a really good area to look. All right, so I have the area cleaned up just a little bit, enough for us to just kind of scope it out. We'll run a metal detector over here, then I'm going to dig around a little bit. We'll dig a few holes, and if it's good, we'll come back. I don't have a lot of time today, but we'll have enough time to scope it out and see if it's worth coming back to. I want to show you something back here real quick, because I was bringing some of the brush and throwing it over here. There's a great big freaking hornet's nest right where I was starting to throw this stuff, and I want to show that to you. You know, I've been making videos of the yellow jackets, which are a type of wasps that make nests in the ground, usually tons of them over here too, but this is called a bald face hornet. He's got a nest right here. I'll show it to you. They're a type of paper. I think they're wasps actually, but we call them hornets, so don't quote me on that. That's a paper nest that they make. You can see them going in and out. The one just went in, and they're black and have a white face. That's why they call them a bald face hornet, just because they have a white face. Here comes one out. There goes one in. Yeah, if I was to hit that nest, they would be all over me right now. So we're going to try to not do that. So let me show you what we're going to be using today. Garrett AT Max. I'm going to not use a headphone so that you can hear what's going on. We're going to turn it on. I'm not even going to try to ground balance it because there's so much iron in here, I won't be able to. But I'm going to leave it on zero discrimination, just so you can hear how much iron's in here, and then I might crank the discriminator up in a minute. Those grunts, that's iron. See, you're reading in the 20s, 30 or so. Listen for higher squeak. Something here, that could be a big piece of iron. You can see, oops. You see there's a lot of nails. There's a big nail there, big nail there, big nail here. And kind of a little squeak. Oh, looky! That's what we were hearing. This is an iron lock. I think it's definitely worth looking around some more. Let's put it right there for now with that one nail. I dropped the other nails, but I'm just looking down here where we were digging before. That's a fork. That's an iron fork right here. It's kind of rotted away, but that's definitely what it is. You see where the tines would have come out here, 2 tines. That's a nice old fork there. Lots of iron I'm digging up here. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and dig this out a little bit more, spread it out, and we'll run the metal detector over it. But just give me a minute to get that done. So I just kind of dug a nice big hole here, just throwing stuff up to get into the stuff that hasn't been detected before. And finding this, which I believe is going to be like part of a mason jar lid. Yeah, that's zinc. So it's probably some type of lid, the edge to it. Unfortunately, that's going to be scattered all through here. Yes, yeah, that's definitely what it is. This is zinc mason jar lid. So unfortunately, going to be lots of little pieces. We're going to have to dig them all if we want to see if there's a, boy, it stinks, if there's a button or something in here. I think whatever is in there, it's kind of a stinky animal. Probably more of the same. Yeah, look. All right. Okay, so we have an interesting development here that I'm pretty excited about, and I think you guys will be too. You see where I've been digging all this out, digging down. I'm looking for the natural layer, and we haven't gotten to that yet. But look where we're getting to. Look in here. You can see this dark here. This is charcoal. This is from where the original house burned down. So when the original house burned down in the late 1700s, all this has been put in here since then. So there could have been a shed or a barn built on top of it, or this could have been just be from where they, the people who lived in that house that they built in the earlier 1800s threw this junk in here. Hard to say, but this is the 1700s layer right here. This white stuff is mortar. Could be from bricks. It could be from the lathe that's in the walls. But this is, yeah, that's all wood that where the house burned down. You can see right here, there's some, it looks like some type of china. Right here, it's a plate or something. So we're getting down to good layers. So if there were belt buckles and coins and stuff like that in the house when it burned, it could, oh look, that's that other edge right there. That's old. In the walls of the house or in somebody's jacket that was hanging up when it burned, or treasure chest full of stuff. It's going to be down in this layer right here where all this stuff is. That's nice stuff right there, man. The iron I've been getting out of here, I've been piling up over here. Don't know what that is. That's a hand-forged something, iron. I got this out of there. This came down from that house layer. You can see the little pieces of mortar and stuff that are stuck to it. This, I think, is probably a scabbard. Could be to a sword. Pretty sure that's a scabbard of some sort. And some square nails I'm pulling out of there. And I wanted to show you these because this is kind of interesting. You see this square nail here is all rusty and it's like stuff stuck to it. But this one is like nice and smooth, and well, it's actually kind of reddish, isn't it? And what that means is that this reddish nail that doesn't have the rust on it was burned. I don't know why it does that, okay? Because of course all of these came out of a forge, and they were molten iron at one point when they were hammering into nails. But for some reason, if a house burns down, the nails that were in it will always be, or at least I think pretty much always be, nice and smooth like that, not big things of rust on them like these nails. And I think we'll find a lot more of them down in this layer right here. I mean, there should be spoons and stuff in here, pewter spoons, maybe melted, but that's all iron that I'm hearing right there. It's loaded with nails. Yeah, I don't hear any good squeakers. Doesn't mean we're not going to start getting them though. I'll dig carefully in here. I would suspect we're getting close to the bottom layer. We'll know it when we get to it. I can see a lot of nails in there yet. All right. There's, nails, and don't see any gold coins yet though. Basically, I'm just going to dig it down until we hit the natural ground, so we know how far deep we have to go. Should be buttons and stuff since the house burned down. Like I said, there's no reason there won't be coins in here too. Bones. Yeah, looks like it's probably getting a little, I don't know, still charcoal down in there, so it's going to go a bit deeper yet. All right, so I've been digging on it a little bit, and you see I'm down to that really light layer, so it's probably not going to be anything under that. I'm still getting a lot of bones and nails and charcoal, but I'm not getting any buttons or anything like that. Here's a bunch of stuff I've pulled out of there. So I don't know. I think what we might do Yeah, that's a piece of melted glass. So I'm going to dig this back just a little bit, and we'll just scan it to see if we have anything good. Not really happy with the amount of stuff we're finding for the amount of digging we're doing. It's really rocky. We'll dig a little bit more though. I just remembered I actually have my, my digging pick with me for these rocks, and it's got a magnet on the bottom. So there's a bunch of nails sticking to it, so I can use that to help clean some of these nails out of the dirt before we check it. But let's go ahead and run the metal detector over here. Some more charcoal. That's part of the old 1700s house right there. All right, so we finally have something that's not a nail, and I think I know what it is already. That's going to be a Civil War era Spencer cartridge. That's 100% what that is. It's a rimfire cartridge, so on the edge of it, if it's fired, there'll be like a little dimple. I thought I saw one, but I'm not seeing it now. Well, that's really shiny, isn't it? So this was probably lost in this house when the house was no longer standing, at least the original house, because it was gone by the time the Civil War rolled around, but this could have been a barn or something. All right, let's look around some more, see if there could have been a whole cartridge. Could be a bullet right in here too. This is the area where I found the Civil War belt buckles and box plate. I think it was in that groundhog dirt right there. I'm pretty sure. All right, I'm gonna keep digging a little bit that way with the pick. All right, I think we got something in here. I'm kind of digging that way, and I just checked with a metal detector. A lot of iron. But I've got a squeak right in here. And if you look, turn that off. If you look, I can see what appears to be like a little buckle or something right there. Do you see it? Might be a little shoe buckle or some type of little woman's buckle. Huh. No, it's not even that. Man, that looks almost, that's new. Wow, that is aluminum. So yeah, that's a newer piece right there. That's terrible. That was in that kind of darkish dirt above the charcoal. I thought this was going to be like a little shoe buckle or something. At least I was hoping. All right, so I'm getting ready to take off. I figured I'd just kind of look around the area just a little bit, see if we can find a better spot to dig next time. That's where I was digging right there. I'm going to leave that hole open because I might dig on that some more when we come back. But I worked my way through here. Here, I got a plane coming over. Working my way through here, and I got a nice squeak down here. And I'm wondering, do you see it? I do. Let's get it. You could eyeball that one. Yeah, look right there. That's a big old button. It's about the size of a large cent, but you can see right in the middle it's got a little spot right there. So that's going to be where the shank is attached. So that's going to be a big old flat button. Look at that. That a beauty. Make sure it's not a George Washington. You can find GW buttons or George Washington. Oh, I'm almost out of battery. George Washington buttons out here. I hate to do that on the knee. Put it over here maybe a little bit. Just a little. See designs. It usually looks like a big old chicken on there, but it's actually an eagle. I see something. I don't know why there's a pile of dirt here like this. But yeah, they had that button in it, so this might be a good place to try digging too, right over here. You can see there's some tin, more of the foundation. Oh, there's a well right there. Let me go show you this well real quick. This is the original well for this house, and probably, there's a big old groundhog hole. See any treasures out here? Don't really see anything. This is probably another big old groundhog hole. These are flower pots. They're probably not that old. All right, yeah, this is the well. We went down here one time. There's a bunch of snakes in there. Did a video. Whee! My buddy actually had a ladder. I went down the ladder, but I guess he took it out because he probably doesn't want me going down there. I don't blame him. It was in the late fall, and there were like snakes were all over the walls in there, kind of sticking their heads out looking at me. It was pretty freaky. That was a scary video. That was quite a few years ago, though. All right, I'm gonna look around here with a metal detector and see what we can find just on this dirt right in here real quick. So just kind of off to the side of the hole, I found the spoon right in here. I just dug this. This is a piece of brass. It's a corner brace of some sort. Solid brass, countersunk holes. So that would have gone on wood, and it would have been a wood screw in there. So yeah, that's pretty. That's a nice, beautiful signal too. Put in there with that. That's a lock that I found. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and call it quits. I'm gonna show you what we found real quick. We're definitely gonna come back here on another day, maybe when it's a little bit cooler and the hornets are gone. Anyway, this is what we found. I guess, you know, non-ferrous stuff. We got a nice button there, big old flat button. That'll date to late 1700s probably. Got corner piece, got the nice lock, got the big old spoon. That's the first thing we eyeballed. This was kind of neat. I don't think this is too terribly old, but this is a little jar or something. And of course, I think this is a scabbard to like maybe a little sword or something like that. Lots of nails. Well, it wasn't the most fruitful day, but to be honest with you, I wasn't really planning on digging, so it was an awesome day. We actually found a couple things. I'll go ahead and get a couple pictures for you and hit the road, I reckon. Go home and get something to eat. We'll see you on the next one, I hope. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere in between.